So guys, KLD, Kirill Louis Dreyfus, Sunderland owner, has finally broke the silence. The silence has been deafening for weeks, for months, surrounding the club, surrounding the new head coach search and what have you. And I've been saying for a long time that all we need is a bit of communication. It doesn't have to be something massive, and this one absolutely isn't. It's very, very short and sweet, and I will, of course, go through it with you in just a moment. However, we've just needed something to hold on to because we've been left so dry from the club in terms of any information, anything to settle the nerves, and surely the club can see, and because they are so unbelievably frigging tone deaf, they surely can see how disgruntled, disheartened, and how flat the fan base is and how fed up the fan base is, that even the most tiny of statements should have come long before now. And again, I will get into it in just a second, but it is very, very small, but at least it gives us some form of reassurance that something is happening, because the wait for a head coach and the silence surrounding the club in general has been utterly ridiculous and unprofessional. But I will, as I say, I'm going to go into the very, very short but sweet statement now. So the club only over the last sort of 10 minutes or so have released this statement, and as you can see on screen, it's tiny, but it's something. So it does say, we hope to appoint the next head coach of our great club imminently as we enter the final stages of the recruitment process. We appreciate the patience and the support that we've received from you throughout the summer, and our aim has always been to ensure that the right candidate is appointed. That outcome remains our focus. On and off the field, we have learnt from last season when we fell short of all our expectations. We are hungry and ambitious for success and determined to ensure we all enjoy a great 2024-25 season together. Kirill Louis Dreyfus. Now, as we see there, it's the kind of thing that we would want to hear anyway, but just to think that it's only coming to the back end of the recruitment process now, I think it's pretty ridiculous. When I keep on, I know you can only compare to other clubs, but other clubs have sacked managers and then hired within a week, and of course, I totally understand, and this is why I did give them patience, as has a lot of other clubs, a lot of other people and a lot of other fans have given the club a lot of patience because we wanted to make sure that we get it right, but we have taken a very, very long time. So we needed to see or needed to hear a statement like that, but I feel like we have taken our sweet, sweet time, and I get it that you need to make sure you get the right man in charge, but this process has been long drawn out, and it needs to come to fruition. It needs to come to its conclusion very, very soon, so then we can start looking at players, and again, like KLD says there, try to get the most successful season underway, essentially. So, I do appreciate it. It's small but sweet, and it does calm some sets of the fans. But I would like to think we would be getting a new manager in the next few days, a new head coach in the next few days, should I say. I won't lie, there was a slight feeling for me and a slight feeling in the air with the lack of communication and with the absolute silence that we have had. I had a very small feeling that the club was going to be sold. I don't know why. I think it was just simply the lack of silence, but the only thing that we were hearing was things happening around the club with the club shop, things getting fixed up, this new stadium, sort of the surface and the pitch was getting done. For me, it looked like it was getting wrapped in a bow and cleaned up and sprinkled over and glazed over for a nice sale. That's what it felt like for me. So that pretty much all but confirms that isn't happening, but that was just something that was lingering in the back of my mind that I hadn't mentioned. But that is what I thought may have been happening, but of course it doesn't look that way. But either way, so yesterday, I am going to go to yesterday's rumours about managers, head coaches. I keep saying head managers, but you know what I mean. So yesterday, there was a lot to get through. There was a lot of shit stirring. There was a lot of fuss and a bit of a kick-off online, on social media, on Twitter. And yeah, I was definitely part of that as well, because it was an absolute piss take. As I keep on saying, the calibre of names we all or have been getting linked with dropped considerably in recent weeks. Even so, yesterday, when you have a look at some of the reports that were coming out, some of the reports from some fairly reputable sources, they were saying that we've essentially got down to our final three candidates for the role of head coach, and that was Pascal Jensen, which we did speak about. It was yesterday or the day before this video, a couple of days ago. He would be my favourite, particularly out of these three that you're about to hear. You have Stephen Robinson as well, should I say, from St Mirren, which I think would just be the most underwhelming addition to the club possible, and it would be a shit show, in my opinion, if that did happen. And David Challoner from Stockport. Now, I've seen a lot of people from other fans from other teams sort of tell Sunderland fans to drop the ego and how big do you think you are and arrogant because we don't want Stockport's manager. Now, I'm fully aware of what Stockport's manager has achieved. You know, with Hartlepool, Stockport, he's got back-to-back promotions. He's won an FA Vars and all that kind of shit. That's brilliant. And I know that every manager and every coach has to start from somewhere. But let's be totally realistic. If we got a League 2 manager who has never managed, never coached in League 1, let alone the Championship, that would be absolutely fucking atrocious. I'm sorry. Yeah, it might end up... Obviously, of course, I would support whoever gets in charge. Whoever's put in as head coach, I'm going to support. Going to get a chance. But my God, you know, after being linked with certain level names, to then get a League 2 manager who's never managed in League 1, let alone the Championship, at a club like Sunderland, again, that's not being big-headed, that's not us being arrogant or egotistical or blowing our own trumpets, it's being realistic. Sunderland is a massive football club. To jump from Stockport to Sunderland and then you're telling me that I'm being arrogant because I don't want a League 2 coach, I'm sorry, I'm not buying it, I'm not having it. So that sent everyone into meltdown online somewhat, thinking that those were the sort of three. So everyone was screaming for Pascal, including myself. But then also people now, you know, it has been rubbished, by the way. That was rubbished. A couple of other journalists, James Copley, good friend of mine, he did state that from what he'd heard and from what he'd seen, the other two, other than Pascal, that were wide of the mark and they're not in the consideration process. However, apparently there is meat to the bone of the rumours with Pascal Janssen, so there might be something there. That's not to say that he's definitely going to get it, but apparently there has at least been talks or discussions surrounding Pascal coming to the club, which is, out of those three anyway, Jesus Christ, he would absolutely be my bet. But alongside him, apparently the two sort of favourites now, or the ones that have been linked, again it has been confirmed, is Liam Rosenior. And if it is either Pascal Janssen or Liam Rosenior, I would generally and genuinely be quite happy with either of them. I can see the benefits of both. When you've got Pascal Janssen there, you've got someone who has had experience and working under very similar conditions in Holland. He'd be working in very similar constraints to what he would have done in Holland, and it would be very similar being in this head coach role, as we know how rigid and strict the process is here at Sunderland. But then you've got someone like Liam Rosenior, British up-and-coming manager. He tries to play a very attractive, exciting brand of football, and I think that would fit within our sort of ethos at the moment. So either of them two, I wouldn't mind, and I've said that in a previous video anyway, before all this, these rumours, I did say that I wouldn't mind Liam Rosenior. But if it is between those two, I don't think I would go or be too mad between the two, if that makes sense. It might not be quite as exciting originally as when we first heard the likes of Will Still, but as I've mentioned previously, I'm fed up of Will Still. Absolutely fed up. Watch it again. I might have egg in my face and we might be announcing Will Still in the next couple of days, but I'm actually fed up of hearing his fucking name, if I'm totally honest with you. But that is everything. I won't bombard you with too much, guys, but that is pretty much everything at the moment. So let me go. What do you guys feel about the very short, the very tiny statement, and of course with Liam Rosenior, Pascal Janssen as well? Which one would you go with? Would you go with one of them, or would you prefer someone else? Also, I just want again to say a massive thank you. Your guys' support on the channel recently has been absolutely ridiculous, particularly over the last couple of videos. The likes and everything. If you do hit the like button for me, it honestly helps out so much, and it shows that you're enjoying the videos and you want more. And again, there's so many that I think there's still 50+% of you guys that aren't yet subscribed. And again, I keep on saying, it's not really just for numbers. If anything, it just keeps me motivated to keep on doing this. And I do enjoy doing this for you guys. And again, the community we've built over the years has been really, really good here. It's a really great community on this channel. So yeah, so if you haven't yet already, if you just click the subscribe button, it's so appreciated. But either way, guys, do you guys take care. Stay jammy.